The story follows Yan Cun, a high school student gifted with an exceptional ability to solve complex mathematical problems mentally. This unique talent aids him in all aspects of life, from sports to combat. However, his brilliance isolates him. He has no friends, spends all his time studying, and barely interacts with others. Rumors at school claim he's never even smiled, and his cold, distant demeanor causes classmates to label him as strange and creepy. But Cun is unaffected by their opinions. His only concern is excelling in his exams. One day in class, Cun wins a gold medal in a math competition, which he accepts without emotion. Meanwhile, Yang Bin, the class bully, wins the bronze and feels bitter and envious. Out of spite, he throws a slipper at Cun and pretends it was an accident. Cun calmly tells him not to do it again, which Yang Bin interprets as a challenge and prepares to escalate. Just then, a group of seniors storms into the classroom, searching for someone named Suho, accusing him of harassing their female friend. From the back of the class, a boy who was napping, Suho, stands up and tries to de-escalate the situation, but the seniors refuse to listen and attack him. To everyone's shock, Suho effortlessly defeats them, displaying impressive martial arts skills. The class is stunned, but Cun remains indifferent, eager to return to his studies. The next day, Yang Bin and his gang continue harassing Cun, hiding his books. When Cun calmly confronts them, they gang up on him and beat him in front of the class. Even then, Cun remains emotionally unaffected, further irritating the bullies. Realizing physical attacks don't affect him, Yang Bin decides to sabotage Cun's exams instead. That night, Yang Bin and his gang visit a nightclub and buy illegal drugs, including dangerous fentanyl patches that cause vomiting and hallucinations. The next day, a new student, Suk, joins the class. He's the son of a wealthy minister and appears timid. Yang Bin finds out Suk was bullied at his previous school and uses this knowledge to blackmail him into sticking the fentanyl patch on Cun during the exam. Suk, scared, agrees. During the test, he pretends to brush off a fly from Cun's neck but secretly applies the patch. Cun begins to feel dizzy and rushes to the restroom to vomit. By the time he returns, the exam is over, and he realizes he has failed for the first time. Furious, Cun grabs a pen and attacks the bullies. He uses his intellect to calculate every move, hitting Yang Bin with a book and stabbing another bully's hand with his pen. He nearly seriously injures Yang Bin, but Suho steps in just in time to stop him. Yang Bin ends up hospitalized. His mother, thinking her son is the victim, demands Cun's expulsion. But Cun presents the drug patch used to sabotage him, exposing Yang Bin's actions. The school principal is shocked and decides not to punish Cun, instead scolding Yang Bin. The next day, the school atmosphere shifts. Students now respect Cun, and even the bullies fear him. Suk tries to apologize, but Cun ignores him. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Yang Bin asks his gangster cousin, Suk Dae, to take revenge on Cun. Once recovered, Yang Bin and gangsters ambush Cun at school. They beat him severely. Suk, seeing this, rushes to Suho for help. Suho initially refuses but agrees when Suk offers him $500. They rush to find Cun, who is still being beaten. Just as things escalate, Suho appears and kicks off a fight with Suk Dae. Suk, mustering courage, joins the fight, and together they defeat their attackers. To celebrate, Suho takes Cun and Suk out to eat, Cun's first time sharing a meal socially. Meanwhile, Suk Dae is brutally punished by his boss, Gilsu, a feared gangster, for losing to students. Gilsu promises revenge. Later, Cun runs into a female gang member, Young E, who pretends to know him when caught shoplifting. Cun helps her avoid trouble and walks her home. Over lunch, she opens up about her hard life and working under Gilsu. She gives Cun her number before leaving. Back at school, Yang Bin, facing juvenile detention due to the narcotics incident, pleads for Cun and Suk to testify on his behalf. They agree, and Yang Bin takes them to a parking lot where Gilsu and his gang await. Gilsu demands $15,000 in compensation for injuries from the earlier fight and threatens their families if they don't pay in 3 days. He slices Suho's face to prove his seriousness. Now constantly watched by the gang, the boys are under pressure. Suk, desperate, steals an expensive watch from his father to sell. Meanwhile, Cun devises a plan to gather evidence against Gilsoo instead of paying. He meets young E, who confides her hatred for Gilsoo and shares details about his illegal betting app scam, which traps students in debt and forces them into criminal work. The boys regroup and decide to expose Gilsoo. Cun collects enough evidence and suggests they infiltrate Gilsoo's base and call the police from there. Suho volunteers to go alone, pretending he can help improve the app's algorithm to trick Gilsoo into letting him in. Gilsoo agrees and takes Suho with him. Inside, Suho sends his location to friends using his smartwatch. But the gang discovers it and beats him brutally. Suk arrives soon after with the money to save Suho but is also captured. Gilsoo prepares to flee with his gang, just as Cun arrives with the police, but they're moments too late. Angry, Gilsoo blames Suk-dae and orders him to another location for punishment. Young E insists on joining him. Meanwhile, Cun contacts young E again for help. Jilu takes his friends to an abandoned amusement park, where he and his gang plan to punish Suho and Suk for betraying them. The two boys are tied up, and the gang prepares to execute them. E, realizing the urgency, sends her live location to Cun and urges him to bring the police. As the tension builds, Suk-dae arrives with E, which enrages Jilu. Suk-dae had disobeyed his order not to bring her. Jilu starts beating Suk-dae with a metal bar, but this time Suk-dae fights back, tired of enduring years of abuse. Surprisingly, the other gangsters don't interfere and watch as Jilu and Suk-dae engage in a fierce fight. Although Suk-dae puts up a strong fight, Jilu's experience allows him to win. After defeating Suk-dae, Jilu tries to choke E, but the sound of police sirens causes the gangsters to panic and flee. Just then, Cun arrives and rescues Suho and Suk, only for Jilu and his gang to return, revealing the police sirens were just a fake sound played on a phone to scare them. Another fight breaks out. Despite his injuries, Suho bravely fights off several gangsters, while Cun uses his smarts to outmaneuver others. Finally, the Real police arrive, arresting Jilu and his gang. Young E escapes unnoticed. Later, Cun and Suk give their statements at the police station, and Suk's lawyer informs them their names will be cleared. Cun feels relieved to return to his normal life. Suho recovers in the hospital, still cheerful despite his injuries. Cun, seeing his friend's upbeat attitude, smiles genuinely for the first time in years. At school, Cun, Anua, and Suk become popular and praised for their bravery. They plan to celebrate over the weekend and decide to invite E, though Suk feels uneasy, wishing it was just the three of them. At home, Suk sees that Suho follows young E on social media but not him, which hurts his feelings. During their outing, Suk feels left out as Suho and E bond. At the karaoke bar, he steps out for a drink and spots his old bullies. Frightened, he hides, but upon returning, sees E talking on his phone. He becomes furious, thinking she spoke to his bullies. The group is confused, but soon the bullies arrive and leave upon seeing Suho and Cun. Ashamed to admit he was bullied, Suk avoids talking about it. The next day at school, he lashes out at a classmate, and Anua has to stop the altercation. Cun and Suho try to help, but Suk refuses to open up. Days later, Suk stops attending school. Cun and Suho visit his home and are surprised by his luxurious lifestyle. Suk admits he feels unloved by his family and only adopted for political image. He opens up about his past bullying, and Suho suggests confronting them. They go to the karaoke bar where Suk demands an apology but nearly attacks the bully. Suho stops him, leading to an argument between the two. Suk feels disrespected, and the group splits. On the way home, Suk runs into Tai and coincidentally also his old bullies. Tai, seeing a chance to extort money, drags them away. Suk takes the opportunity to beat his bully, impressing Tai's group. They invite him to party, and Suk agrees, paying for drinks. Tai's group later follows him on social media, prompting Suk to unfollow Suho and Cun, choosing to move on from them. At school, Suk starts hanging out with Tai's group. Cyan worries about his change, but Suk says he feels respected for the first time. Later, Tai's group cuts the lunch line, and Anua confronts them. Suk refuses to comply and challenges Anua, leading to a brief fight. Furious, Suk hires an MMA fighter, Wong, to attack Anua, using his father's money. Tai's group sabotages Anua's scooter, causing him to crash and injure his leg. Suk is satisfied seeing him in pain. On Anua's birthday, plans a surprise, but Suk lures her away under false pretenses. He sets her up, and Seon discovers the trap by checking a message on Suho's phone. He goes alone to save and is ambushed by Wong and the gang. Seon protects but is beaten. Suk walks away, ashamed. Police arrive and find Seon unconscious, but he lies to protect Suk, asking to keep the secret. Anua grows concerned when Seon and don't return. He later learns what happened from Tai's group and attacks them in anger. He visits Seon, pretending not to know about the incident. Meanwhile, Suk's father beats him and threatens to send him to a foreign school. Suk finally fights back and runs away. Later, Suk contacts Suho, luring him to a gym where he's surrounded by Tai's group. Suk challenges Suho, but Anua apologizes first, hoping to fix things. Suk remains hostile, and Suho fights Wong. Though injured, Suho regains control, but someone trips him, allowing Wong to win. Suk and the others then join in brutally beating Suho, only stopping when Suk's assistant intervenes. Suho is left unconscious, and the scene is staged as an accident. He ends up in a coma. Seon is devastated upon learning the truth. He attacks Yongbin for revenge and then fights Wong, defeating him using Anua's techniques. Suk's father visits the school to protect his reputation. Meanwhile, Seon storms into the classroom and beats up Tai's group. He confronts Suk but can't bring himself to hit him. Instead, he smashes a window in frustration. Everyone, including Suk's father, witnesses the scene. After seeing video evidence of the attack, Suk's father decides not to press charges against Seon. Anua remains in a coma, but not alone. Thank you. See you in next time. And subscribe my channel now.